Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a voiceover, yay! I know the last video I filmed, I did a no talking makeup look, which I felt was, not too bad. I just wanted to go ahead and upload it, and I wasn't really having much time to do a voiceover or anything like that, so I figured like the video was, pretty self-explanatory. Um, so for today's look, I am doing a more of a sunset eye makeup look. So to start off, I did go ahead and start with my pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color medium brown. And I am just filling in my eyebrows. And that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this part because, it's just me doing my brows. And then here guys, all I'm doing is just using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in number 20, Sand Sable. I am using that to kind of clean up my eyebrows, and on top of that I also use it as my eyeshadow primer. And then here I am just using the banana powder, and I'm using that to set my eyes. I do kind of apply a little bit of that also with whatever's left on my brush. I just kind of go over my eyebrows as well. And my little sister makes an appearance right about now. She wanted to show me what happened to her pencil when she sharpened it. And here all I did was just provide an image showing the eyeshadow palette that I am using for this makeup look. I am using the eyeshadow palette called Blossom USA. I did purchase this in Mexico, but I am sure they probably have a link or something like that here as well. I will go ahead and try and find it, and if I do, I will go ahead and list that down below in the description box. So the very first eyeshadow that I am using is called Moon Dust. It's a very light brown. And here the shade that I am using is called Anti-Gravity. It is an orange shade, and as you saw in that picture, that's the shade that I am using. I put like a little star on it just so you guys can kind of see the shades that I am using in this palette. Thankfully, I am just using one palette, yay! So that's all I'm doing right now is I am just applying that Anti-Gravity shade. I did go ahead and apply it a little bit underneath where I applied Moon Dust, but I am also bringing it up as well. I don't mind that Moon Dust and Anti-Gravity are mixing a little bit together, and I actually feel like that gave me a really pretty look. So I'm just blending. So let's go ahead and fast forward. Now that I am done applying that Anti-Gravity shade, I am using the LA Pro Conceal, and I am using that to cut my crease. I am trying a different technique than usual. Usually I go in with the brush, but this technique also works pretty well. It's just obviously time consuming, and you really have to take your time. So once I get enough of that concealer on there and I'm starting to kind of map out, I will go in with the brush and kind of just swipe and dab. It's pretty much that combo right there. And once I get it to where I want it to be, we will go ahead and apply another eyeshadow. So here, with no extra product or anything like that, I am taking the brush that I originally used for the anti-gravity, and I am just blending that into the concealer. That way I can get a flawless blend, and I'm really taking my time with it. And once I am done with that, I am going in with the shade Fling. Now that I am done applying that Fling shade, I am going back in with that eyeshadow brush that I was using for anti-gravity. Again, it does not have any extra product or nothing like that. I am just using it as it is, and I am just using it and taking my time to really blend everything out together so that way it looks flawless. So now I decided that, you know, just with that Fling shade, it wasn't cutting it for me. I needed a little bit more. So I did go in with the shade called Beam, and it is like a dark gold shade, and I just felt like on top of that Fling shade, it just looked really, really pretty. Honestly, reminded me of like a sunset. So as I am applying that, I am kind of bringing it up as well onto the crease, which is fine because together it honestly just looks really, really well. And then I am just going back and forth with that anti-gravity brush. I'm just going to call it the anti-gravity brush. So I am just going back and forth with that brush. Again, I am not picking up any product or anything like that. And I am just really, really taking my time and blending it out. So now that that eye is done, we are going to go ahead and move on to the next eye. Again, the order of eyeshadows is Moon Dust first onto the crease. Once you are done with that, you go ahead and add Anti-Gravity. Really take your time with that one and build it up as you go. Followed by Fling, and last but not least, Beam. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this and put a little bit of music. And now that we are done with the eyeshadow, I am going to go ahead and move on to my face. I did go ahead and prime my face using the Benefit Professional Primer. I did mainly just apply that on my cheek area, and then I am applying my concealer. Again, I am using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in number 20, Sable. I do like to apply my concealer underneath my foundation. It's just something that I've done ever since I really started doing my makeup, so I don't know, it's just a technique that I like to do. I don't even know if I would really consider it a technique, but it's just something that I'm comfortable with doing and something that I've done. So all I'm doing now is just using a little shader brush to just kind of blend it all out. So I'm just really taking my time blending it all out. And then I am obviously fast forwarding this. I cannot really blend that fast in real life. So I'm just blending it out, taking my time. And once I am done with that, I am going to go in with my L'Oreal True Match foundation in Natural Beige. I will go ahead and list it down below as well in the description box. And I like to just put little dots on my face. And then I will go ahead and blend it all out using my handy dandy beauty blender. I did go ahead and spray that with the Mario Badescu spray, and then all I am doing now is just really blending it out and taking my time with it, obviously, because you want to make sure that you're blending out your makeup so that way it looks flawlessly and it looks good. So I did go ahead and provide the image again because I am going to go in with anti-gravity. I am going to start building it up slowly on my lash line. So then that's all I'm doing is just really taking my time. I did go in with the smaller brush. It's like a little angled brush. And then I am just picking up the anti-gravity and slowly applying it onto my waterline. And obviously I'm going to do that onto both of my eyes. And like I said, I'm just really taking my time and building it up as I go, because it's not as intense right off the bat. You kind of do have to build it up if that's the kind of look you're going for, which in my case it was. So I am slowly just building it up as I go. And then once I am done applying that anti-gravity shade, I am using the exact same brush that I used for Beam, and I am just applying that right on top of anti-gravity. And it just blends. I don't really know how to explain the color that it created, but it just blended so nicely together, and it kind of gave like a different effect of the eyeshadows. I don't know if it's because it was literally right on top of one another or what it was, but it just looked really, really nice. So that's all I'm doing here is just going back and forth and building it up as I go. And then here I am just going in with my NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner, and then I am just going in with that Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and I am just using a very small brush and just going around applying that onto my cheekbones, temples of my forehead, and a little bit on the jawline, not really anything. I just take whatever's left and just kind of drag it down. But that's all I'm doing. If you know me, you know how much I rave about this mascara. I absolutely love the Maybelline Colossal Volume Mascara in the shade Black. It's waterproof. Always, always recommend this mascara. So that's all I'm doing is just applying that onto my lower lash line. And then here I am just going in with the Ultra highlighter. So I'm just highlighting, and then once I'm done with that, I am going to go in with my handy dandy stippling brush. I also rave about this all the time. If you are my friend or my family or a client, you know how much I have recommended and how much I talk about the stippling brush. I really do think that it makes a difference with your makeup. So all I do is just really, really blend it out. I never miss this step when I am applying my makeup because I do think that it is essential, or maybe it's all in my head. I don't know. So then here I am using a different mascara to kind of add a little bit more volume onto my lower lash line, because I do have eyeshadow down there. I want to make sure that my eyelashes also pop, considering I also have fake lashes. You know, that is more important for me to make sure that my lower lash lines stand out a little bit as well. So that's all I'm doing and staying hydrated. And the last step of this makeup look is to go ahead and apply my Colourpop liquid lipstick in the shade Beeper. I absolutely love this lipstick color. I think that it, looks really beautiful any skin tone. And I really do think that, especially when I'm using colors like this that are kind of bright, I like to try and stay a little bit more on the neutral shade side for lipsticks. But sometimes I do tend to step out of my comfort zone and out of my box and go bold everything because I have done that before. But for this particular look, I did just want to go ahead and keep it more on the neutral side. And I like the Beeper because um, it's not so nudish, but it's not so dark, so it just looks really, really pretty. And then I always like to curl my falsies with my real lashes. I always do that step as well. And this is the final look. I really, really hope that you guys enjoy this voiceover and this makeup look that I have created, and definitely stay tuned.